Sometimes when you're using AI, you're not going to get the result that you want on the first try. And probably the thing that separates AI novices or beginners from AI power users is just their willingness to try again. So if you look at the response that AI gives you and you see where it might have gone wrong, and then you incorporate that back into your prompt, often you'll get the result that you're looking for on the second or third try. And the best way to do that is through a trick that not many people know about. So let's see firstly how most people approach this problem. So we had a meeting with Build Club, which we had a transcript of, and I want AI to help me write a recap email off that transcript. So I'm just going to say, hey, write me a meeting recap email. And I'm going to paste in the transcript below. Cool. So while AI is giving me that response, I've actually realized that I actually don't want a meeting recap email. I actually want a list of to-do items. So what most people would do when they get a response that they're not looking for is they would start going back and forth with the AI. So they would say, no, write me a list of to-do items. And AI is coming back with that, but now I can see that it's actually missed something. And so again, people are going to get into this back and forth with AI where they almost start arguing with it to try and get it to do what they want. So I can see that I think AI has missed something out of the transcript. So I'm going to ask it, make sure you don't miss anything. So the problem with getting into a bit of a back and forth with AI where you're essentially arguing with it is that AI doesn't just account for the previous message you send when it gives you a response. It actually looks at all of the previous messages that you sent as well. And this can work really well when you've got a message thread where, the AI's got a lot of contextual information and background information where it's giving you great results. But in a situation like this, where I might have given conflicting instructions or I've changed my mind halfway through a thread, it can actually work against you because it's essentially confusing the model. So rather than arguing with the AI, I'm going to show you a simple trick you can use, which is going to make your results a lot better. I'm actually going to come back up to my original prompt now that I've figured out what task I want help with, and I'm going to edit that response rather than sending a follow-up message. So you can edit your messages by just clicking on the little pencil icon down the bottom. So I'm going to click edit. And then I'm going to come in, I'm just going to say, rather than write me a meeting recap email, I'm going to say, write me a list of to-do items off the back of this transcript. And when I hit send there, you can see that it's actually erased all those messages and it's essentially starting from scratch with a clean slate, where it can now pull out all of the to-do items so we know who's doing what. So this technique is a really helpful one to keep in your back pocket. If you ever get into a situation where the AI is confused or you might have worked out what you're trying to do halfway through the task and you don't want to get into a situation where you've got conflicting instructions in the chat, just go back up, edit your original message and start with a clean slate and you're going to get much better results. Thanks everyone. So we went through why prompting is important, the structure of what makes up a good prompt, and how you can iterate your way to good results. My name's Matt, and now I'm going to hand over to my co-founder, Henry, to go more into advanced prompting techniques.